We are on,
7
we're
years ago.
recorded, guys. I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Okay, we have a full quorum. Lee is unable to, we do have a quorum. Lee is not able to join us this evening.
How's she doing, by the way?
Recording and taping notification is requested by by law, the town may the town may audio or video record this meeting. Any person intending to either audio or video record this open session is required to inform the chair. Robin, are you taping the meeting?
No.
Okay. Robin, you're up. Slide in.
Yeah,
and
sure. Wherever.
Give us the lowdown and do what you need to do.
All right, so I am proposing a trail and boardwalk design and permitting for the Cedar Swamp at Island Pond. A lot of people don't know that in this town, we have a cedar swamp like the one in Eastham that has a raised platform walking trail. So it's a part of the Island Pond Arboretum area. So the Island Pond is a level 2 accredited arboretum, and each year I put together different materials about learning, about different educational things for kids to do in that area. So if you flip to the little so BSC Group did a conservation land management study. It was a huge article that they did in 2012 where they did, it's probably about this thick, it's in my office. So it did everything in the Island Pond area as far as all the vegetation, every tree, every animal, everything that's in that area. And at that point, at the end of the study, they had recommended back then, when we got it finished in 2013, that we should move forward with the raised platform walking trail. I had talked to Amy, we were gonna do it together at one point. We went back and forth about it, but we've always had other projects that we were both doing. So this year I decided that I'm gonna try to push through and do it. There's a lot of grants that are out there right now, especially for this type of environmental education stuff. So that's why I wanted to move forward with it at this point. So on all of our trees, I just put a little tree tag in there. We label all the trees for the kids, so it has the scientific name, the common name, and a 2-sentence description of what the tree is, or how it grows and everything like that. So the boardwalk design for the Cedar Swamp, the purpose is for educational opportunities, conservation and sustainability, and recreational access. We want to make it handicap accessible when you come into Island Pond Cemetery. If you come in and take a left into the cemetery and you go around onto West Main Avenue, there is a parking area that we made with the AmeriCorps Cape Cod, which has a nice easy grade that would go down to where we wanted to make the raised platform walking trail, so we could make that handicap accessible for children to be able to get to the pond so that it's available for everyone. It's in walking distance from the elementary school, which is a good thing. They could cut through. There's an actual roadway that has a right-of-way that comes straight across almost from where the school district is all the way in. So the key features of the boardwalk would be it's an elevated platform, it'll have an observation deck and rest area, and it's for wildlife viewing and opportunities. Okay, and then environmental considerations. I don't know if you guys, has anyone ever even been to the Cedar Swamp here? No? Okay, so right now people cut through there and try to walk through the cedar swamps, but it's all wet and marshy, and there's a little bit of upland area that you could probably walk on, but this will create a minimal footprint. The boardwalk and trails will be designed to create minimal disturbance in preserving the natural water flow and the habitat in the area. So it'll have drainage and the vegetation will be protected. So if you see the little map that's on here, this is the map of Island Pond. On the right-hand side, it shows where the streets are in the cemetery. And then across from it is the actual Island Pond. People always think when they go into Island Pond, they see the tiny little lily pond and they think that's Island Pond. But it's not. You can't get to Island Pond because the vegetation around it is pretty thick. I mean, it's pretty hard to get in there. There is one piece of the property that has a little bit of a title issue. Carly, from the assessing department has it on to, finish clearing that title, Article 39 on this town meeting warrant. And so what I'm asking for you guys is to support the application to explore this concept of this boardwalk. That will be happening, hopefully, in Island Pond.
Great.
So it was approved by, we went before the Conservation Commission on the 16th, and they unanimously approved it. But I'm coming here because it's a recreational outlet as well, so.
Questions, Phyllis?
I have a question. It said in the, what is the company, BSC,
Group, yeah.
that they would clear 10 feet on either side of the boardwalk?
So, they haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
So originally, when they did it in 2012, to put in the pilings and all that stuff, but regulations have changed, so none of that stuff is going. They're gonna go in there and they're gonna look and see what the feasibility of which area it should go in, and then they would come back. They can't do anything unless they get permission and permitting from conservation, so nothing like
It
that.
just seemed
is-
excessive.
Yeah.
And threatened species? Are there any threatened, like,
There are some
environmental-
there are some turtles in there that are threatened, and I can't remember what else. I didn't bring
Yeah.
that report
I mean,
with me,
that's
but
the
I have
other
a pretty
thing.
in-depth
Yeah.
report, yeah, which they did, so they know.
No questions.
Ben?
What is it, your source of monies to do the project that you're suggesting? Right?
So we're going for CPC funds for the permitting and the study, which is $50,000, I believe.
59.
Yeah. So, yeah, so then after that, and I don't know if I can get the grant for that to cover that as well. So I am working with two of the grant writers that I usually work with from the county. So they've been looking at different grants that would fit this criteria for me. So I might not need to go to the CPC. I'm hoping I don't have to, because it's easier if I don't. So I'd rather use the county money than the CPC money if possible. So I'm working with them right now. So
Thank you.
I'll have more information when I go to the CPC,
Thank you.
when I have to present in December.
David?
I'm also.
Brian?
No questions, sir.
I'm gonna beat my usual drum.
Yeah.
Request, and I've said this since way back when, and everybody here knows it. You're coming to us after the application's already been put in. So, as a courtesy, I've always thought it should be, if you're going in the rec bucket,
Right,
come to us beforehand. We have a priority list,
right,
and if we get a whole bunch of other things going in the rec budget, it
Right.
could throw our priority list out. That's my only comment. I think it's a great project, but nice to see you next year earlier.
I make a motion that we support the project as submitted this evening by Robin.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is a vote.
Abstain.
I'll get you a letter, Robin.
okay.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Robin.
Eric, wanna
And I'll keep you
Yeah.
posted with the grant stuff.
Camera's got it.
Why do you abstain?
Because Robert's gonna be coming before CPC, and I have a whole list of questions specifically for CPC, myself.
But you're a rec member.
Right, I separate the two.
Where are we going?
CPC project, oh, so just
Oh,
so everybody,
everything's down below. Oh, the other stuff is, director's report and stuff is down below. Okay.
the Jim Gunning is, he asked to be tabled to next month.
Yep.
For that item, so you wanna go to
Still
CPC?
coming
Please.
before it?
He's still gonna come before us, but next month, yep. CPC project update, I sent out an email, with brief updates on each of the open projects. The updates since this update, like this says, we do have, bid openings tomorrow for two projects, the Brooks Court resurfacing and the Senior Memorial Field fencing project. One is at 2 and one is at 2:15. I'm not sure which one is which, but they're back to back. The other update, I met with Cape and Islands Engineering and Jared from Highway about the septic design. There was a couple things they needed. They needed to know the, I sent them the specs of the bathroom itself that we're looking to put in. The placement of the bathroom, which was fine with them. They're gonna schedule the perk test, get me the specs, and it's gonna go out to bid. So we're moving ahead on that. The beach AED project, I'm just waiting for Paul Finn from the fire department to get back to me. There is a state bid list for that, which would eliminate the need for getting 3 quotes. He was gonna suggest exactly which one to get off of there. The real simple use ones that are portable, easy maintenance. So that's what we're looking at with that. And the electric system project, as I wrote in the paragraph here, Highway Department and Sean Fernandez from the golf course suggested that we wait on the electric system because the irrigation system itself is very old and needs replacing. They think it would make more sense, which we didn't know until we had already submitted for this. They think it would make more sense to maybe give back the money for the electric part of it and then go for a larger project next year or year after for the irrigation and electric all together. He was afraid that if we put in a new electric system now with that old failing irrigation system, it would blow out the pipes. His words.
Sean's.
Yeah. So that's my updates, but any questions I'd be happy to answer.
Phyllis, any questions?
Will the electric system last 2 years? When they say almost failed, is like,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still working right now. I would put that on my list, you know, I'm just one person, but I would put that on my list for next year's CPC articles as an irrigation and electric.
Which means it doesn't get done till 26.
Yeah,
yeah, that's, will it?
yep.
Okay. Anything else, Phyllis?
No?
Frank?
That irrigation, is that just that black pipe or they use?
What's that?
Is that just that black pipe they use?
I believe so, yeah.
That's a residential.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, they used, when they did the
Mine's
fields
20 years
years ago, they kind of screwed up the whole irrigation thing.
Yeah,
And they're
that's-
laid out wrong too, I guess. The way they're laid out under the ground,
Oh, that's good,
so.
okay.
Anything else, Frank?
No,
Van?
The septic, is it going to be in the location that was marked out?
The bathroom itself? Yeah.
So
Yep,
you know where I. put
yep,
the
behind the
yellow-
batting cage
yeah, Where I
there.
put the yellow.
Yep, right there, and there's a water hookup right there. The only thing that Jared's gonna look into with Sean is where the electric would run from. My question on that, do we need electric? Why?
Because you're supposed, from what I understand, because I've already asked the
Yeah.
question, you need a light.
The
If
light?
it's- If it's dark, you can't, if there's no windows, you gotta have light in there, cause I said,
Yeah.
why don't you use
Can we put
the
those
solar,
things-
Solar?
the solar tubes?
Yep,
Don't know if they pass muster as light.
Yeah.
Only source of light.
yeah,
They thought you needed hot water
okay,
to wash your hands, so which means you need a hot water tank.
okay.
I've asked
He's thinking the same way.
Yeah, exactly. I even thought of putting small solar
Yep,
Yeah,
up on, I didn't get an answer on that one
Okay.
yet though, but.
so the water's right there, but the electric, Jared's gonna look into with
What's the
Sean.
problem? They have to come down from the top of the hill down.
Yeah,
It's gonna cost a fortune.
That's
yeah,
an
that's the
expensive.
issue. So they're gonna figure
Either
that
that,
part
or
out.
even if you go into the well,
Mhm.
the electricity in the center field, the well,
It's still a ways,
that's still away,
yeah,
going all the way around.
yep. So we'll find out.
David? Brian?
Good.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
You got it?
Pickleball monitor, Eric?
Yeah, so this, you guys had asked to put that on the agenda for this month, regarding pickleball monitors for next spring and summer outdoor season. And, you know, just discuss it a little bit. Me and John have talked about it. My recommendation would be, since last month you guys voted to move the open public play courts to the 6 and 8 instead of the 15 and 16, that we go into the season without an assigned everyday monitor and see how it goes. Having an assigned monitor there every single day, you're talking at least $300 to $400 a week. I know pickleball brings in money, but I can't justify spending money just because it's there for something like that. In the meantime, hopefully the new location of the courts would make a difference. We were going to look into more and detailed signage that could really make it super crystal clear of where people are supposed to play and not play. And then we also thought that we can, anticipated busy times, say July 4th, around July 4th, we could stick a monitor out there anticipating a lot of public coming into play. So that's what we were thinking, but
Okay, Phyllis?
I think with the 6 and 8 being the public courts, it'll really make a huge difference.
Help,
And
yeah.
be very clear, because you have to walk by them. Everyone will see it. the
yeah,
signage.
yep.
And if you put maybe a paddle rack up so they clearly see that you put your paddle in there to go up next.
We're gonna do big flashing neon
Yeah.
signs. Like they-
Well, no,
Like
paddle
the
rack,
Yeah.
a paddle rack, you'd put your paddle in and the next 4 go out, so they
Yeah,
would know, but they would know there's a system for those 2 courts. So, people are used to seeing stuff like that.
I agree, 100% with Eric said.
Ben?
6 and 8, the signs are on the inside. Should they not be moved, you know, the numbers themselves should be moved outside so that people can see 6 and 8?
Yeah, we could do that. We're gonna probably do a complete review of every sign there. just,
Otherwise,
you know.
I was down a couple of weeks ago and it looked pretty good.
Just
Less and clear are better.
I know, oh yeah, definitely. People
David?
don't read them anyway, but.
I'm all set.
Brian?
I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
on that, yeah.
And then, just talking monitors, as of right now, indoor pickleball is gonna be starting up. It actually the night pickleball starts tonight. We have a monitor for the night pickleball.
Yep.
The reason being at night is because there's not as much staff in the building, so it makes sense to have a monitor there for the night program. So Dean Penko, who was our gate guard extraordinaire this summer, will be the monitor. I think he'll be great. He's very sociable. He's a really nice guy. So that's
Yeah,
good.
online registration,
Yep, everything
Great.
online. Yep, my rec is going great.
that's good.
Like I said last month, I get an email every time somebody signs up on my rec, which I haven't figured out how to turn off yet. My email's binging every 2 seconds. So. But it's good. I like to see it.
Yeah, that's good.
Come a long way.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, minutes, August 27th.
So move.
Second.
I didn't see the minutes in the, or review the minutes?
Yeah,
Were they in the packet that Elaine sent?
I didn't print them.
I did not see them.
I don't. If not, I mean, we could table it.
Table it, please.
Table.
Dave, there was, this question, they weren't
Move
there.
my motion.
Thank
Did
you.
anyone else
Thank
see
you,
them,
Ben.
or?
No, now that you say that, and I don't have. it
I'll
in my
check with
packet.
Elaine to see.
Yep. Okay, director's report, Eric, please.
All right, let's see. As far as updates, I went through CPC application bid openings. The Veterans Memorial Field Complex repairs, those repairs have been done. It was between $11,000 and $12,000. Administration is still dealing with the insurance companies. I believe the last check, the insurance companies are still battling each other to see who's going to reimburse, but it is done.
Talking about that back.
What's that? Yeah, with the circus, yeah.
Is there a standing invoice for the work that's done?
It was sent to, I believe it was sent to Highway.
Is there an invoice?
Yes, yeah.
There is an
Yep,
invoice?
Yep.
Thank you.
As far as the budget, I just wanted to kind of go over a couple things. I had given you guys an update after the department head meeting. They're opening Munis for budget submittals November 22nd. They're due, I believe, December 4th. But this budget submittal is just what they're calling a maintenance budget. So it's basically the same, it's kind of level funded is what they're saying. Any enhancement of services, they're gonna ask for later. Enhancement of services, anything, whether it's expense, seasonal, year-round salaries, that goes above what we had last year, other than contractual. Some of the things that we're looking for, we're kind of shooting for the moon this year, you know. A big one for us is a grade or pay increase for summer staff. We kind of did a study, we went to the beach managers meeting, John and I, and we kind of got a whole poll of everybody, and I'm not gonna read every number, but just for example, lifeguards, out of the 14 that we received back, we're 13th in pay out of 14.
When did we do the increase? I know it seems like last year, but it's probably
think it
5
was-
or 6.
It was last year, yeah.
No, for the lifeguard pay increase?
We did a big one, I think it was before you.
Yeah,
were
that's just a 2% COLA. to go
We
through.
did a big one to get caught up then.
I'd have to check, but I would think it'd be like 4 years ago or so.
I like, if you could have that for next meeting.
Yep.
that'd be great.
And then just going through, like, we're looking to take everybody and the grade that they're at and bumping them up 1 grade. So there's 5 steps within each grade. We just bring their steps higher. Because
How
swimming,
does that measure up against the other communities around?
well, that's what I'm giving you now. So lifeguards were 13th out of 14 in pay. These are the people that returned the information. Swim instructors were 7th out of 7. Assistant beach supervisor, Dave's favorite position. We got 6 back, we're 5th. Beach supervisor were 9th out of 11, and gate guards were 13th out of 13. So
My favorite position.
I think we're pretty consistent.
the ones
Yes,
that,
we are.
I got a job there.
the proposed increases would put us pretty much middle of the road for most of those. It would come out to, we were running the numbers, and it's about a $38,000 increase in seasonal staff salary. We're going to submit that probably by next week in the form of a memo and backup information to Megan and Joe, so that they could start taking a look at it in
Tickets
advance.
pay for that.
Yeah, yep. And then the other, yeah, sure.
The increases that would bring us to the middle, would that be at other towns current? Like, say they increase, then we kind of still stay.
If they increase, if they
Yeah.
increase,
Do we
Well,
want to
It's a
plan for
vicious
that?
circle.
yeah, I mean, I don't see them all increasing so much that we would be sliding all the way to the bottom again.
Okay.
We may go from, instead of the middle, maybe slightly below the middle.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's important because while we've been lucky getting guards and beach staff, because of the ability to in-house train, which John's gonna get himself, there's only so much you can do with that. We're competing with just not just other towns, but restaurants, grocery stores, golf courses, everything. So if we want the good staff, we gotta pay them.
David?
Have you thought about taking the lowest number that we sit on and adding 20% and see what that came out to?
Well,
Just as far as breaking down percentages?
you mean for like an hourly pay?
Right,
The way we did it that way because there's grade levels in place, like there's grades 1 through 10 or whatever it is, and each grade level has 5 steps. So you can't just
so
arbitrarily
there's
pick a number.
automatic, okay,
Yeah, you'd have
it's
to.
like the step in.
Yeah, yep.
Okay,
You have to pick one of the grades that has the steps.
What's the starting salary right now?
I have that here too.
For which
For
position?
lifeguard, like.
For any of them.
So a lifeguard, what I did was I took most towns have either 5 steps or 3. So I took the average, like either the 3rd step or the 2nd, whatever the middle step was. Our average lifeguard is $18.78 an hour. The average Cape Wide is $20.34. Swim instructors, it's the same thing, same difference. Gate guard is a big one. Ours average is $15.53. Cape Wide average is $17.21.
excellent numbers,
So
you're gonna need them.
we have all kinds of backup information we're gonna put together. And John's good at spreadsheets, so he's gonna make. I can
No,
only
I'm not.
print it so you can't even see
Oh,
it.
the other John.
The other two.
And then other budget things, additional staff is a big one. We tried last year. We put in for an additional staff member, did not get it. We're doing it again. I made it clear that we're gonna just keep doing it until we get it.
But if I may.
Yeah.
I think last year, as I understand during my tenure
Mhm.
as chair, what did come back to me was they being the select board, they want some backup information to justify why you want, how do you,
Yeah.
programmatically, what are you increasing your
Yep,
programs by and so
what it
on.
would
So
do, yep.
You've gotta have a lot of documentation, a lot of
Yep.
answers for them because they're gonna be looking for that.
Sure,
I know that they, from what I understand, they're willing to look at a part-timer to begin with.
yep,
And then consider, should you be able to justify it a full-time, but I would think that you have some backup.
Yep.
Of a part-timer first, so you come in with a full-time and then.
Well, that's
see if
the
you can
plan.
Compromise with a part-time.
well, what we're planning actually is even more than that, is to request an additional full-time person and an additional half-time person. So, both we're gonna ask for, and they could give us the full, they could give us just the half, they can give us both. Anything's better than 0.
Just make sure you document what you're doing
Yep.
and why you're doing it, and why the needs are there.
Yep.
Do a real good needs assessment, I think several of the, select board members will listen.
Yep, more backup info the better.
David?
I'm just curious what the board thinks about if there's gonna be an increase in salary and wages, which that's what you're looking for staff.
Yep.
And then an additional increase to summer program.
Well, that's two separate parts of the budget. So there's, seasonal staff and year-round staff. Increasing the seasonal staff doesn't help us for the other 3 seasons of the year. You know, they're not here to help us with programming and covering all the hours in the fall, the winter, and the spring. The big difference that they need to understand, and that's where backup information comes in, we're not a 9-to-5 department. You know, we're not just covering programs from 9 to 5. We have stuff going on early in the morning, early morning fit classes at 6 in the morning. We have after school activities, and it goes into night activities, and it goes even further into night when we have the winter and basketball and everything. We have programs on Saturdays. We're at least 6 days a week all year doing stuff. And in the summer, we're 7 days a week, so.
Follow-up, if you were given a choice
Yep,
between both, either or,
either or, okay, yep.
what's your priority?
I think a priority right now, unfortunately, would be seasonal, to get them coming back. Sustain what we have, get seasonal. I hope I don't have to make that choice.
And you can use revolving for some of the others.
Yeah, and we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, if they're.
Yep, to keep us floating, yep. And that was that. Yeah, sure. And then the only other enhancement is, well, there's other stuff too, but like things like porta potty costs are going up. The flags we're buying around town, everything, cost of everything's going up. So that's gonna have to be factored in. Obviously, electric, water, things like that, they factor that in. The town finance director will factor that in. Those are standard increases, I believe. So these are things that are not anticipated. So.
Angelo's direct and indirect costs.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, don't bring me back to those
That's
days.
good.
And then for the director's report, as far as programming, we're in the middle of the fall. We're going into winter. I'm going to turn it over to Program Extraordinaire John to give you any updates on that.
I understand you're doing a big thing for Halloween then, John.
Yep.
Yes, we are. We have the Harwich Halloween Trail planned. I coordinated that with Cindy Williams from the Chamber of Commerce. We sent out an email to all of their members asking businesses to participate, and all they had to do was offer to put a bowl of candy out, and they get their business listed on the flyer. Hopefully in return they get a little more foot traffic in the store, but it provides a list of places for people to go while they're trick-or-treating in their own community. They can stop by local businesses and pick up s'mores there as well. There's 4 big events, the Tech being the largest. They're going to have a trunk or treat in their parking lot, followed by games and a face painter in their, I believe it was either their cafeteria or the gym. And then the other events are taking place at the library, the junior theater, as well, and then the rec. We will be on the front lawn of the 204 as a nice little stop. That's what we got planned for Halloween night. The fall was really big into soccer. We had 6 different soccer teams with over 90 registrations. Biggest so far is our 3 and 4 boys team is doing really well. They were 3-0, and they played Brewster yesterday, the other best team in their age group. They tied 7-7. We've got a really great coach in Coach Anthony. He's been doing a really great job with a lot of our teams. We've also had youth tennis in the fall, which was really great. We got some help from the Monomoy tennis team. 2 girls volunteered to help me with that. Gymnastics has probably been one of our best selling programs. It runs right after school. I walk the kids over from the elementary school into the 204 gym, and the parents really seem to enjoy that. Again, we have a really great instructor for that in Eileen. And then a new program I launched was the Outdoor Adventure Program. So just on 4 separate Saturdays, we went hiking, we did knot tying and fire starting for one, and then we went on a canoe trip on Long Pond for another one. So that was really fun. I'm an Eagle Scout myself, so it was good to pass along that sort of information. And then headed into the winter, obviously we're very big with basketball, pre-K through 8th grade. We have teams. I just partnered with Mike from 3 Monkeys in the 551. He's going to help run a girls clinic on Monday at the 204. That middle school age group is really a tough spot for us with being able to get kids. Another exciting one is the Monomoy volleyball coach is going to be coming over here and doing lessons for grades 2 through 4, and then 5 through 8, and we've got some good registrations for that one. Indoor soccer, HPD does a fantastic job with their program, but they focus grades 3 and up, so we are doing pre-K through 2nd grade in-house. We're going to do a multi-sport program that will run immediately after school, similar to the gymnastics program, as far as we'll walk the kids over to the 204 gym. It's good. It's a way to teach kids a different sport every week as opposed to focusing on just one, and just get them good exercise. And also, of course, the parents like it because it kind of extends that pickup window just an hour longer for them. Then, of course, we have Leah doing field hockey indoors. Yeah, and that just about covers it.
Great,
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
And
you
most
very much.
importantly, based on the facilities committee that I also represent, Reagan speaks very highly of the kind of work that you're doing and sharing with her and the cooperation that you guys have together in terms of putting these programs together. At the last meeting, she was very, very positive and indicated very strongly that the rec department has found the right guy.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, John.
I also want to say, great job to both of you. Great job, John, on heading this up. I mean, you think back to 1 year ago this month. That was when there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. We needed the
Yeah.
change.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of
we
stuff
needed
going
the
on,
change.
and I think it's a testament to finding the right people for the department
Absolutely.
too. So,
Name of the game.
great job, John. Great job, Eric, finding John. I think keep collaborating, keep getting things up early like you are. I think that's going to take some time to kind of change that tide a little bit.
Yeah.
Keep getting things up early, over communicate, and then even the collaboration with Chatham, that was a big hit. So we can maybe expanding that too a little bit.
Yep.
Great job.
Another point, very good. Another point I'd like to make is that make sure that what you just said today is transmitted to the board of the select board, the finance committee, all the people that are going to be responsible for funding.
Budget
and
time.
let them have a budget time. Just say it as it is, man. Put it out there and let people understand and know very, very deeply and very specifically that we have come a long way since last year. And that we got good people involved right now, and when you have good people and good staff, you can get a lot of things done.
We'll overflow them with information.
Get it.
And the adult programs too, the morning stuff too.
Oh
is
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
That's
We got a
an
lot of
awesome-
adult stuff.
awesome idea.
Does John do updates on Channel 8?
Actually, didn't you just schedule one? Are you doing an
That
interview?
was the Chronicle.
Oh, that was the Chronicle. So, but we can. Yeah, we could reach
Because
out
all
to
that
Jamie.
info should be on Channel 8.
Yep, we could do that. Yep. Touch base with Jamie.
Okay.
That was everything from the director's report, unless there's
Okay.
any additional questions.
I think we're good on, Frank, you good on director's report?
just run by me again, where do we have the racks for, kayak?
Oh, I forgot about updating that one. So we have them at Cahoon's and Sand Pond currently. We're thinking of putting some at Long Pond, maybe up to 3, maybe 4 racks, 3 racks of 4. 1 or 2 of which would be for the same thing, renting a space for kayaks, and then maybe 1 for we can get back to what we used to do at Cahoon's, where we used to rent kayaks out at the people could come rent the kayak for whatever it was. I believe it was $15 an hour back then. We'd have to look at it again. 1 rack would be for our kayaks there. So that's, I'm gonna reach out to Sean this week. He just got back from vacation about the cost of building 3 more, but the cost for the ones we have is very minimal. Easy.
And we've had more people reach out since.
Oh,
Have there
yeah,
been
it's
requests
demand.
for any other locations? I
Um,
was thinking of Pleasant Bay, if they go up.
yeah,
go
I
up
mean,
the river.
the sky's the limit. I
Oh,
mean,
Muddy Creek.
Muddy
yeah, we're kind of easing
Yeah.
our way in slowly and,
Yeah.
seeing how it
Herring
goes.
River, they go
The
up there.
town
Herring River,
town
yep.
landing on 28.
Yep. We have, we're open to expanding as much as people demand.
But we don't have the Herring River's not
Oh,
our
that's-
No,
problem.
yeah, we have to stay on our.
Yeah.
I agree, because I
That's right.
kayak there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's, I don't know who that under waterways?
Conservation. I don't even know.
It's a good
It's
spot,
definitely not
but-
ours, yeah.
Yeah, you
and
could
it's
spot.
not a lot of extra space there.
No.
No,
But that's an interesting one. That's a great place to kayak.
so.
Okay?
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sorry, David. Yep.
Eric, are they renting the units now? Renting space, private?
They're
private
gone,
individuals?
it's out now. They should be all out now, because the rent was through, I believe, October 15th.
Okay,
but
so we do have individuals that are using the racks now.
they're still there.
Yeah, so the next question I have is, do we have liability insurance on those for private use?
You mean the people that rent from us?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Sign
whole
a
waiver that we got legal to
Okay.
do. Yep,
That's great,
yep.
thank you, that answers the question.
So you're not sure on the date that's, it shouldn't be any earlier than the 15th.
No, I believe it is the 15th,
Okay.
yeah. But I could check
This
them,
isn't
because
a
they should
normal
have
district,
tags. If they don't have tags, then they're illegally stowed, so I could take a ride and look and see these
Cahoons.
cajones, all right.
And the location choice for the next one being Long Pond was if we were going to go back to short-term rentals, we would like to use Long Pond because we have a gate guard already there, and they would be the one facilitating the rental. They'd be giving the person a key to then unlock the kayak, as well as they'd be there to give them the form to sign for the waiver.
Where would you put them?
That was.
That's what we have to take
yeah.
a look at.
Yeah, that's
Because you got the skulls out.
No, they may have to move a little bit.
Speaking of skulls,
Yeah.
I believe the sign is still there.
It is.
Oh, okay. Let me check on them again.
I
And
remember
if
when-
they don't wanna take it down, tell them, I'm sure Highway would be happy.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Would you have flotation to go with the kayaks or personal flotation devices or?
Yes.
big-
Yeah, we have life jackets. Yeah, we have everything. Yep.
Okay, what do we at
Maintenance
here?
report.
Maintenance report, Eric, please.
There's no big updates. I did mention that on the highways list is from last month, Dave's request for Outback. I put in a request at the pickleball courts to possibly cut a hole in the fencing there by courts 6 and 8, I believe. Yep. Both for, well, it's mostly for emergency access and handicap access. Those two things are on there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else new. Everything else, I mean, is covered with the CPC updates and the new projects we have submitted. Any questions? I'd be happy to
Phyllis, any
try to
questions?
answer.
The porta potty at Brooks Park.
Yep.
They're gonna block the parking lot off again, I assume this
Yes.
year? So it will be near the
Yep.
current bathrooms.
I
not-
checked, yeah, we're gonna arrange the porta potty there. I checked with Sean Libby today. Everything's closed right now, bathroom wise, except for Brooks Tennis Court, Brooks Baseball Field, and Red River. All of those close next Thursday.
End of the month.
What's it? Yeah. So we'll probably, what's that?
Brooks Park is closed.
No, it's open now.
Oh, cause
It
I went up
closes
there.
next
It
Thursday.
was closed over
Yeah.
the weekend and no
Because
one.
Well, that was
did
it. He
but
told
yeah.
me somebody didn't show up.
There was a
last
backup
weekend.
too.
Yep.
And,
So we'll have at least, we'll probably put one porta potty at Brooks Park to cover baseball and tennis because there's not that much baseball left to go to justify 2 porta potties. And then Red River is, that'll close as normal.
When do you move the porta potties off the fields, out of the facilities?
All of them are gone right now.
Are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
Frank?
no, we're not on,
And you're all set that, what's that, Frank?
no, we're not on open session yet. but-
David?
All set?
John, I'm, just, the work done and back,
Yep.
is it totally finished right now? Is it?
Yeah, but they still, we have to keep people off it for now still.
Okay.
While
So they
this
reseeded?
seeding, they
filled it,
reseeded,
they
yep,
filled all of the,
yep.
the grooves and everything else?
Yep, yep.
So it was done in about a day, I think.
Yeah, they did, it was about a full day's work, yep.
Set?
Thank you.
Brian?
Good.
Okay, budget report?
We don't have that right now, because
Okay.
they're still figuring out how
Oh, you
to
said that, that's
credit
right.
us with the MyRec in our budget reports.
Oh.
But as soon as I have it, I'll email it out to everybody.
Okay, chairman's report, couple things. Our December meeting would be Christmas Eve, so we are going to forego December meeting.
Really?
It's a good thing.
Yeah, unless you
Said we
wanna
could have
come,
a Yankee
Van.
swap.
In
Eggnog.
November,
26.
the 20, I don't know if anybody's gonna be away Thanksgiving week. You're away? I'm unavailable. Frank doesn't count to
We'll be
quorum,
in Florida.
Yeah,
so we'll just have to check that. Brian, will you be here?
I'm here, yeah.
Phyllis?
I'm here.
Brian, Phyllis,
I'm here.
Leah's probably,
Leo will have a new baby.
yes,
probably
yeah,
out.
so that's,
Yeah,
so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that can't make it right there.
so that, okay,
So either change it
okay.
to a different
I could
date.
throw out
Like the
some,
week earlier?
Yeah, a week
maybe-
early is what I'm
Maybe
maybe
thinking.
the
later.
19th, is that what it would
It'd be
be?
the 19th, or a week later would be December 3rd.
So I'll check on the 19th and I'll send out an email to everybody, just making sure that works.
Yeah, go with the 19th if you
Okay.
can, please.
Got it.
Okay, that's all I have. David, any reports, updates?
Yeah, the Board of Selectmen have agreed to do a true-up of the CPC numbers. So we're having an independent
Are you trying
auditor
to?
come in.
I thought you were trying to avoid to say the word auditor.
Well, I'm gonna say it anyway, because they've already used the word. So we're having an independent auditor come in to do the numbers for the last 5 years. And, that's gonna come out of CPC admin. What I wanna prepare Eric for is there may be some questions about the pickleball coming to you directly.
Pickleball,
The changing of what happened out there. As
Wait,
far
I'm
as those two brand new units being turned over to
oh,
your group.
oh, I see,
So-
instead of it, you mean it being program play instead of public
Right.
play?
Right.
Program play, yeah,
No, don't explain it to me.
okay.
I'm fine. You may have to deal, just giving you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
The other thing is, we have a rough estimate. I talked to the finance director a couple of days ago before I left. And he's getting his numbers together outside of what the outside agency is gonna do. So he's sending me an Excel spreadsheet of what his true up numbers are. So I'll have a better idea what our numbers will be for the next
November.
meeting, I hope,
Great.
to let you know.
That it, David?
That's it.
Van? Any
The
updates?
last meeting, it was very interesting that the chairman, our chairperson indicated that that she and others had a meeting with Joe relative to Circus Smirkus. And it was reported that the Circus Smirkus would be coming back again next year. However, Joe made it clear, as I understood the chairman to say, that he is not going to permit the backfields used for that purpose, that he indicated the backfields will be used for athletic purposes only, and that they're looking for a new location. Highway has gone down and measured 204, and they were talking about cutting down some trees and the parking area. They can come in with 150 parking areas from what was reported, and they have enough space if they reconfigure 204 to be able to make that a multi-purpose kind of facility.
Fairground type.
Fairground, thank you, a fairgrounds. That was one option. However, my sense is, my understanding was that there was not the kind of support for 204 that I thought might be there. The other option was looking at across the street and cutting down all the acreage in that corner over there across the street and making that into a fairgrounds for Circus Smirkus, because I get the sense, again, based on this report, that they're going to be bringing Circus Smirkus back almost every year. Okay, it's going to be an annual thing, if you will, simply because of the kind of profits and revenues they were able to generate to help the kids in town. So that was the discussion. That was the report that was given. There was no major discussion above that report. It was just put out there, and the other, and it was dropped after that. The other issue was that Reagan gave a major report on the programs that they are involved with, and with cooperation with you. There's new carpeting going on, going to be installed in this building, They're gonna be trying to get around how to do it. New shades are being put up in some of the rooms. That's already been addressed and paid for, I guess. They're looking for the contractor to come in and do that job, okay, do the project. But again, the carpeting is gonna be something that they may have to shut the building down for a period of time to get all the regs in and do what they have to do. And as far as Halloween is concerned, they're not using the drive-in type of program they had in the past, the cars running around the building. That's done. I think you're handling pretty much a lot of the Halloween for the kids. So it was a lengthy report that was given by Reagan. Carolyn was not there. She was on vacation, or she was out that day. But in any event, I was very surprised to hear about Circus Smarkers and about Joe's position in terms of the backfields, that they're not gonna be able to use that again for that kind of purpose, if you will.
Well, I met with him and Kara at the 204, and he just wanted to kind of walk around back there and see what the space looked like. And I highly recommended that space as a fairground type of space. Because the use of a fairground for big events and the use of the same area for athletic events, they just don't mix.
Right.
You need to have a dedicated field to athletic events being back here and a fairground. So you could have things like, portions of the Cranberry Festival, the Hooker's Ball, the Fisherman Alliance Ball, the circus, anything else. It'd be a perfect location if you could figure out some more parking.
I guess the sense was that if they use the back facility again and again and again, you're gonna have the same problems over and over. And if you get rain and get some wet weather, it's gonna be
Yeah,
worse
that wasn't
than what
even
we had.
bad weather. And,
We're fortunate we didn't have the bad weather then.
yeah.
That could have really done a job on that, in terms of the sprinkler heads and everything. It's
Sure.
an ongoing issue that we have to deal with if they permitted that program to go on again.
And I think there will be pushback from the circus people and the Friends group about having it at the 204.
Well, good, the town Howard's gonna write them a check for
Instead
13
of
or
that,
20
but,
grand.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we have to preserve what we have for the rest of the year, not just
You
2
can't
days.
justify
Yeah.
losing that field for 4 months.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my bottom
Exactly.
line.
So,
Okay, good. Open session, Frank.
Frank.
Yeah, the pickleball people had a tournament, they made a little money, and the rec department was the recipient of a check,
Yep.
and they also donated to other.
Gave us a check for $1,500 toward program scholarships.
We can get a letter, please.
I already did it.
Yeah, that was a very good letter, by the way.
Thank you.
That was very good. Yeah, I'm getting a kick out of the age of these kids, 3rd and 4th grade, which reminds you, a little quick story. I got a granddaughter who lives in Norfolk, Mass. Did I tell you this?
I don't think so.
And she's been looking for a job all summer. Poor thing, she likes to go to Starbucks and get those $7 drinks. Well, nobody was hired, it wasn't old enough. So I talked to my daughter, she says, guess what, I got a job. Got a job, what you doing? Refereeing flag football.
Yeah.
So I said, well, what does she know about flag football? She said, nothing. She had a 1-hour course on how to referee, and guess what she gets paid? She does 3 games Saturday morning, 1-hour game, $20 a game. She makes $60 for 3 days,
My son
3 hours.
just turned 15, and he umpires the little league games, and he gets $40 a game.
Yeah, now
That's a
she's,
lot of lattes.
Yeah.
and now she's applying for a job through school of keeping score for some of these
Yeah.
events. And I think that's even more than $20 an hour.
Come
Hi,
here,
guys.
we'll hire her.
Hi guys,
14
that umpire the softball games, they get $50 behind the plate and $35 on the field,
Not bad.
the bases.
How come I never got paid for all that?
Imagine
know.
that.
I've repped a million
In
games.
my
I haven't
30
got
years,
that.
I never got the nickel to umpire all the games I umpired.
Were you?
What else you got on your open session, Frank?
That's it.
Phyllis, anything
Yeah.
under open session?
I'm
Van-
good, thank you.
David? Brian?
All set?
Entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Motion in a second. All those in
Celtics
favor?
tonight, guy.
Oh, yeah, we were in Boston Saturday, and they were setting up for that
Outdoors.
ESPN thing at the government center. You should have seen the size of that thing. Cause they were doing a 4 to 7